I'm joined now by the Prime Minister of Moldova, Dorin Recean. Thank you for being with us. How is the situation now with regards to the energy situation in Moldova?
We have Russia doing the same it did many times before, and not only in Moldova. It first creates a problem and then offers to have a solution. But in the end, if you look at it, it's not a solution, it's a trap. So this time, when Moldova decided to have its pro-European path in the constitution, this time that we open negotiations, they just want to create a security crisis in the region and ultimately stop Moldova from advancing in the process of integration in the European Union. What they did this time, because Russia created a problem, security problems, starting with the war in the Transnistrian region that they still occupy in 1992, then in 94, then in 96, then in 2006, then in 2022, 19, 22, and now in 25.
There's a kind of border within Moldova.
Yeah, it is not no border.
No,
it's a security.
Border,
yeah, it's a security zone. So, in that part of the country that they occupied, they stopped gas deliveries, even though they they have the obligations to deliver it until 2026, mid-year 2026. Now, they halted gas supplies, and those people, about 340,000 people, are left without electricity, without heating, and without water. So their electricity is delivered only with blackouts of up to 9 hours a day. When there is no electricity, there is no water, and many of them are freezing.
So how's the situation now? Is there energy flowing again?
The energy is not flowing. The region that Russia occupied is living on its whatever they have in gas reserves, but they are very small and will be exhausted by the end of January. And they still hold a reserve of coal that they burn in order to produce electricity. But this one will also be ending sometimes February 12th.
So what can you do? How can you help? Can you do anything?
First of all, these are people of Moldova, and we offered to help our people on the left side so that we intervene, so that we give people access to energy. But Russia instructed the de facto administrators in the Transnistrian region not to accept it and not to allow it.
So nothing has changed. It's still very difficult for the people in Transnistria.
Yeah, it's still very, very difficult. We have the United Nations present in Moldova, and UNHCR is closely monitoring the situation, and it is a kind of humanitarian crisis. So again, the government in Chisinau is offering various kinds of solution by which we should help people not freeze and having access to basic services, but we still did not reach a solution in this sense.
So was your government unprepared for this kind of situation, or did you prepare for that?
We prepared for the last almost 2 years, since 2023. And by the way, we worked with a German consultancy to help us with figure out how to make the Transnistrian region move to normality, because that economy and those people should move from subsidies on energy. They were paying almost nothing for gas and electricity to normal economic activity and consumption activity based on market prices.
So they are totally dependent on Russia, and that's what Russia wants,
exactly.
obviously.
They are 100% dependent on Russian energy that Russia offered for free. And in this way, they anchored and made them dependent. And Russia is still keeping the Russian troops there. And Moldova is always saying that Russia should remove its troops from Transnistrian.
But nothing is happening there.
Yeah, nothing is happening. What is important right now is to immediately allow for gas deliveries and or coal delivery to the region, so that we overcome this humanitarian crisis situation.
And humanitarian crisis, can you describe this a bit more? What does it mean for the people?
Look, there are people that are living at 12 degrees in their apartments and rooms. They only have gas just for cooking. They have blackouts for 9 to 12 hours a day. They have interruptions of water supply as long as there is no electricity. And this is because they are still having some reserves of gas and some reserves of coal. When these are depleted, as I said, gas by the end of the January and coal by 12th of February, then they won't have energy at all. More to that, those people don't have revenues, because until now, having free gas, they were selling electricity, and on that money they were paying salaries, they were paying pensions, and so on.
They were selling electricity to Moldova, to the other parts of Moldova.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, and with these incomes, they were providing salaries and pensions. Now they have very serious problems of not affording energy. This is one, and not having revenues. That is second, and this is exacerbating even more their situations.
So, do you see room for talks with Russia? What can you do?
We offered the help and how to structure the help for the Transnistrian region, and but from the other side, Russia pretends that it will deliver gas and will organize production of electricity. Though this morning they informed us officially that there is new gas delivery from the part of Russia. So from one side, they say that, look, we have a solution, but from the other side, they are saying that, look, there are no gas deliveries, there are no Russian companies or whatever companies delivering gas to the Transnistrian region. And the solution is to allow Moldova and its friends, the international friends, if they don't deliver on their commitment and make people freeze and without the electricity, then they at least should allow Moldova and the international community, the friends of Moldova, to help and to make Transnistrian region transit to the normality.
And that's not happening now?
Not yet.
Russia is blocking Transnistria, and you don't really have
Russia is acting on their, let's say, proxies in Transnistria, so that they do not allow for this help to come. How
big is Russia's influence in Moldova? Because you often complained, said that Russia tries to interfere into politics. Can you give us examples? Do you have proof of that?
Look, since Moldova's independence, we are under constant pressure from Russia. I'll give you the latest period, and the pressure started to grow in the autumn of 2021, when Russia wanted to make out of Moldova a federation, so that they can have even more influence. When the government said no, they just cut it, the gas, and the prices went exponentially high. When the war broke, and they invaded Ukraine in early 2022, actually in February 2022. After that, they tried to destabilize Moldova through paid-for protests, but also with disinformation campaign, with a full-fledged propaganda. We were hosting Ukrainians, for example, and they were trying to instill a kind of hatred between the population of Moldova and the Ukrainian refugees. Then they wanted the government to get out, and then again organized paid-for protests. They were trying to organize squads of paramilitary, so that they attack government, they attack police during these protests, and they did not succeed.
This is still happening now?
The government learned very fast how to ensure public order, and now it doesn't happen with this protest. But what we have is, heavy propaganda and attempts at destabilizing the situation. And during the electoral cycle of 2023, they were paying for votes. Back then we were holding local elections. Now, during the 24 electoral cycle, we have had referenda for EU accession that passed, and now EU accession, EU integration is in the constitution, and we have had presidential election, and again they wanted to influence so that the current president Maia Sandu doesn't win the second.
But they obviously didn't succeed.
They didn't succeed, though they bought with cash through a scheme run through a Russian bank that is in the international sanctions. They bought almost 300,000 votes, but this they did not succeed to influence the vote to such extent. So now we're again exposed to an escalating propaganda war, and they are blaming Chisinau and Kiev for the problems that they created in the Transnistrian region.
Now there will be elections in June, in September of this year. Okay, in September. So are you worried that Russia will try to influence these elections again, and that the outcome won't be fair? That there can't be fair elections guaranteed?
That's exactly what they are doing already now. With this crisis that they are creating right now, they want to create a demand, a political demand in Moldova that will favor the pro-Russian parties. And their objective is that for the pro-Russian parties to take the parliament and the government. And then a Russian-leaning or a pro-Russian government could allow for strengthening the military presence in the Transnistrian region, and through there to challenge the southwestern part of Ukraine. This is their aim. Now, in the current context, in a pressure to reach a deal, whatever this deal means, but it should happen according to respecting the UN charters. There is no word about it regarding Ukraine. They want to have an additional leverage in the because to give you a number, it's only about 50 kilometers direct line from Transnistrian region to Odessa. So you can imagine consolidating a military power in Transnistrian region, what a challenge it is or can be for that part of Ukraine.
Now, U.S. President Donald Trump said that the Russian President Vladimir Putin should end the war as quickly as possible, otherwise he will face tough and more sanctions. What do you think about this, what he said?
First of all, I welcome the remarks of President Trump identifying correctly and rightly who is to be blamed and who should stop immediately the war. And it's a clear sign of the fact that it's in the strategic interest of the United States for Russia to stop the war and for Ukraine to liberate its territories. And this is in the interest of Moldova, Baltic countries, every country that want to live in a democratic and prosperous state.
So you are looking forward to further decisions by the Trump administration, that's how I understand it.
We obviously want more pressure on Russia with escalating sanctions so that this becomes impossible for Russia to wage anymore the war in Ukraine and they are our neighbors and friends.
And what do you expect from the European countries, from the European Union?
We will really see European Union and European countries mobilizing more resources for European security, but also for helping Ukraine. Because helping Ukraine is also helping Europe itself. From the part of the Moldovan people, would like to thank Ukraine and their courage, because with their courage and their lives, they are defending us, they're defending Europe, and they're defending the democratic values. And I'm glad to see that Europe is stepping up this effort.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister.
Thank you so much.